How's it going, YouTubers? Real Bubba Hotep back with you again for another episode and installment of Crucible Crash and Burn. My apologies for not putting out a video on Christmas Day, but hey, it's Christmas. Please forgive me. This time we went up against Surf, and as you can see, I got lucky. Trial 3 victory on the journey to Masters 2. This is the first time I've ever been in Masters 2. It took me a little while to climb up from Masters 1. My idea, my entire opinion, and my vote is I'll be in Masters 2 for about a week, and then I'll get knocked back down, because I'm up here with the big boys that don't play around. If I could have got a video out, you notice I lost against Gandorf. Gandorf, I tip my hat to you. You are the hardest player I have ever faced in Cosmic Crucible. I failed miserably. But we'll go in, and if you want to see how bad I failed, then we'll give it a little look. Okay, here's my attack. Not so hard, starting off okay, but if you notice, I used my superior 6. I wonder why. Okay, starting to struggle a little bit. I canceled because they were huge. I just could not get anything going. Tried to go back in, thought of an alternate way with the S and F team. Still couldn't do it. And even my Cabal could not match up to his Astral. And stage 3 canceled because it did nothing. And then I went through and adjusted a little bit out and took care of that. Here's where it really starts to fall apart. His Orcus is amazing. I just could not get anything going. I didn't have the power at all to finish these guys off. And I wanted to try the new, well, at least 4-piece Immortal X-Men with Nightcrawler. Yeah, I know, but you were going up against a team that's specifically designed to go up against mutants. I know, but I ran out of options, and then I went in for a Hail Mary and just could not get it. Stage 5, same results, could not get it. Stage 6, same results, could not get it. This is the first time since I've started playing Crucible since the inception that I have only cleared 2 rooms, and that's it. And this monster of a man and a fantastic player just walked right through me. No problems at all, no issues, no anything. It was a horrible, horrible, hot mess. But enough of that. We'll come into a round I actually won. Alright, on my attacks, if you notice, I didn't mess around. Since it was Christmas Day and I was very late at getting these done, I think I finished with 3 minutes left. I just kind of bypassed and threw little bitty things. It started out I wasn't going to. I was giving it my best shot. But being in room 1 and having strikers mainly with the skirmisher, I just couldn't pull it off. It didn't do anything. I got Captain Britain down a little bit, and he just got his health back. You know, so at that point, I decided to pivot and just leave this room alone. As for 2, fairly easy. You know, kind of walked right through it. I had these guys left. This was my last attack, so I just hit it with Mercs for money. Hit it with my Ultimus, and it went down. Room 3, again, classic counter. Took it out pretty easy. 4, I didn't want to mess around. I didn't want to use the Kang Hive Mind. Didn't want to save my Cabal for room 6 or anything like that. I went in knowing what was going to beat it. Superior 6, got to use them since I didn't do the Illuminati Odin, so it made it for light work. And the classic double sack. And went in with the mirror match. Whenever I do a mirror match, the complete Night Stalkers will beat Night Stalkers on defense. It will. I get a little bit more efficiency and I feel a little more comfortable if I use Big Time Spider-Man. Big Time Spider-Man, using his ultimate, comes in, takes care of Man-Thing, strips the taunt off of him, and then you can start targeting Oath, start targeting Blade, and you're good to go. For his defense, I think he ran out of time because he had, when I checked, when there were 3 minutes left, there was hardly anything. So I think he ran into the same problem I did. Unless he just ran out of juice like I did with Gandorf. But if you can tell, he struggled. We'll find out why he struggled. I don't understand why he struggled. He went in with the classic counter, with the hard counter for it. Might have been racked up to RNG. We'll take a look here pretty soon. Clean up with new warriors. And 2. Yep. Old Man Logan. Boy, that seems kind of a waste. But, complete Superior 6. Superior 6 with, Mysterio. Instead of Old Man Logan would have cleared up OML for another room for him. But, hey, I gotta win. Alright, his Astral North Star with my Astral, which that seems to do good for a counter. Looks like North Star might have actually done something for the first time here. Cabal, Ultimus, Kang. That's a pretty good counter for it. Now he went through. This is the typical counter for this. But every time I've tried to use this against the counter for this, I have a hard time with my Penny and my Pav switching taunt to keep me away from Peter B. Which, it's terrible. It's very frustrating. But he also has 3 diamond on his Icarus. I only have 2 diamond. So that could be why. I'm not sure. Or it just could be that I'm not playing it right. But the double sack, classic. If anybody runs across Spider Society, this clears him up pretty easy. It has for the last few seasons. And he did not attack 6. So we'll go through and we'll find out what my defenses were. Since he didn't see 6, he decided to do the same thing. Now, first time I saw Zombie Scarlet Witch was with Gandorf. And I wrestled all the way through it. So I decided to steal it myself. So we'll see how it does next week. Unfortunately, I don't have any information for it. But let's go back to the replays. I think the big problem that I had was you want to have double vulnerable on Captain Britain. And you normally go in with Moonstone as the vulnerable, clear everything off. But I should have used vulnerable with others and made Moonstone the striker so she could have got the double hit. But again, I'm not sure. I've never had good luck with this. Don't really know exactly what I'm doing wrong. It's probably because I'm only at 1 and 2 diamond on my Infinity Watch. But I was very close to getting Captain Britain down. But again, I fell into the same trap that I always fall into, the same problem. He just helped right back up. So that was the deciding factor. I didn't want to waste a good team and good resources on something that I was most likely going to lose. So I just decided to ignore that room. Again, going into room 2, this was my very last attack of the match. And I had Mercs for Money left. I had Old Man Logan left. I had Ultimus left. And I didn't see the reason to not use them. So I just went in. I mean, this was a very easy match. Target on Hela, so if there were any negatives out, she couldn't spread them. And as soon as you get Zombie Scarlet Witch and Hela off the board, the team just crumbles. Coming into room 3, just using the classic counter for it. If you see Kahori now, bring in Black Knight, at least for right now. Whenever you start seeing the bigger stars, the 6 red, 7 red, and diamonds, I don't think he's gonna stand a chance. But you have 99, stripping the buffs off, stunning with Weaver, with charges on her. All the attacks that aren't unavoidable will miss. Special with Cosmic Ghost Rider, just chipping away at that Kahori, because if she's left alone, she'll do some major damage. Skrull just goes right down. I didn't think Weaver was going to drop Thanos endgame as much as she did, which caused me to lose 2099, but I still won the match. And it was GG's. Coming into room 4, the tech skill room. Taking Titania with Kang, it's always a good thing with Cabal. They're just a great team together. As soon as Sasquatch got out of there, him not using Sentinel, that's it's a choice. My thinking is, his thinking was, his Sentinel is kind of squishy, and if I went in there with a Kestrel, it could have stopped the summons, forcing me to kind of pretty much take Cabal, unless I use big time Spider-Man and stripped. But if Sasquatch is too big, he won't strip the taunt off. But there's not much to say about this. As soon as Cabal with Kang and Titania got going, they do what they do. Going into room 5, the city room. I know New Warriors can take this out. I've seen it even with Rogue, but my Superior 6 classic counter. Pretty easy, it speaks for itself. And the room rules give Superior 6 the buff. I usually take Mysterio in. I like Mysterio because his special will give blinds to everyone, and Gambit's annoying little pings continually miss. But I had Mysterio on defense with Orcus this week. So Spider Slayer just coming in, hitting like a tank, he did the job. Now I know usually focus on Forge. I got behind the taunt a little bit. I wanted to use the special to bring him down a little bit more. But as you can see, they really can't do any damage to Superior 6, especially being in the city room. The efficiency was a little less than what I wanted, but it still did the trick. Now for the last fight, going into room 6. After the double sack, just another classic hard counter. The mirror match with Big Time Spider-Man instead of Moon Knight. Big Time Spider-Man comes in, as you saw, and strips the taunt off of Man-Thing, allowing me to target Oath, target Blade, get Mephisto off the board. I was able to blind Agatha, which really helps because those Agatha hits hit like a brick wall falling on you. But if you can peel the taunt off of Man-Thing, it's just a matter of hitting him. That's it. I've never had a problem with this mirror match. And with the assist from Blade, I get the win. For my opponent's attacks, going in against my Kahori Sus Annihilators with his Black Knight, Red Hulk, Daken, and Kestrel. We see the Black Knight is doing what Black Knight does. Daken strips the taunt from my Gladiator, spreading the bleeds, the negatives around. Kestrel almost comes in and takes out my Sus and Kahori. I think if she was able to do that, it would have been over. But unfortunately, just didn't quite have enough power. Now he targets the Thanos, which is very good thinking. Drops him into the red so his passive doesn't activate. I think it was just a matter of Kestrel just not having enough. If she could have gotten my Sus and Kahori off the board, I think he would have won that one. Coming in for the cleanup, taking the New Warriors. Pretty good. Even though New Warriors has been dropping off for the last 3 or 4 seasons, there's still a good Cosmic Crucible team. I may not suggest building them to the moon, but if you have the gear, you have the gold, you have the resources, it never hurts. As soon as they get going, they can take my core off the board, and it was just a matter of time. Coming into room 2 with Old Man Logan and Superior 6 going up against my Extreme with Rogue and Bishop. There's not really much to say about this. He had me overpowered. Old Man Logan, he's just the clincher on it. They weren't even needed. Old Man Logan wasn't needed at all. As you can see, Forge got his speed from Bishop dying, but they still couldn't do anything. And Old Man Logan, he's He may not be the best character in game, but he is top 3, maybe top 5. But you love Old Man Logan. He's great in everything. He's dropped off in Arena when you get to the higher rankings. But other than that, still one of my favorites. Taking in the Astral Mirror in Room 3, pretty good choice for him. Brought in North Star to take the revives off. Dorm sat there pretty useless. Attacking Emma the first time, getting her off the board. It's a pretty good choice. My ability block. The ability block of my strange, so he's not doing strange things. Shadow King popping off, kind of giving him a hard time. For now. And Strange coming in with his special. Puts me in a world of hurt. His Shadow King comes in, takes care of most of my board, dropping my Strange down. And here's the clincher. Brings back his lost partners for a couple of extra points, and it's good game. For Room 4, he brings his Cabal Kang Ultimus into my Orcus Mysterio. My Mysterio being tech and the summons gives a little bit more with Nimrod. But Kang doing his speed manipulation and Ultimus coming through and taking care of the taunts. There wasn't very much my team was going to be able to do. Very efficient, very quick. My opponent did a good job. After the double sack in Room 5, my opponent brings in the textbook counter for Spider Society with the Secret Defenders and Eternals. He does exactly what he's supposed to do, targets Peter B, gets the ability block. Eternals comes in, wipes my Sasquatch off the board. Stunning Penny, ability blocking Peter B. There's not much to this. There's a reason this is the counter. I think this counter will be around for quite a while. Now, deciding to ignore my Room 6, which was my Odin Illuminati and Zombie Scarlet Witch, just as I did in his Room 1, it allowed my opponent to be able to use the textbook counters on all of these rooms, opening himself up to better efficiency. But he just could not pull it off. Just a few points behind me gave me the win and brought me into Masters 2 for the first time. Going into my defenses for next week, I don't think I'm going to change them. I know a lot of people are pulling and splitting Endgame Thanos off of the Annihilators and putting another 3-piece Annihilators using Silver Surfer into another room. But I want to keep this. This is pulling the characters that I want it to pull. It's limiting the resources that they have for the other rooms, and it's doing good. I think I just want to leave it here. My Room 6, I'm still going to leave the same. That's always Odin Illuminati. It's always going to give somebody a hard time. Even though there's a counter with Infinity Watch, it's going to pull at least one sack off of here. Hit the double sacks with the Mephisto. This room is still doing me pretty good. If anything, I might switch up Rooms 3. I might switch up Room 4. I still want to leave Room 2. I had Room 2 and Room 6 starting, and it does pretty good, but I want to keep my Odin Illuminati in 6. And with the tough loss against Gandorf this week, I take a record of 2-1, putting me in number 260 for the ranking. For the first time ever, I'm going to be in Masters 2, so join me. I'm really interested and pretty excited to see what the lineup's going to be. I want to see how different the defenses are going to be. These are some pretty heavy hitters, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay or not. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, share and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. Anything that you could have done differently, any advice that you give me, tips and tricks. If you're in Masters 2, if you're in Masters 3 and you want to see me stay here for a little while, then head on over and follow me on Twitch, and you can find me on Discord. That's it for me, guys. And until next time, keep on MSFing.